Let me describe a moment that almost everyone watching this has experienced. It's late at night. You're scrolling through your bank app, not because you need to, just because you can. And for the first time in a long time, you don't feel panic. Your bills are paid. There's money sitting there, not rich money, but enough that you think, okay, I'm not drowning anymore. And that's when the most dangerous thought shows up. I think I'm finally doing okay. Because here's the thing. That exact moment right there is where most financial lives quietly get decided. Not when you get rich. Not when you buy a house. Not when you invest in crypto or stocks. It's the few months right after you stop feeling broke. And nobody talks about them. Introduction. My name is Nick, and I spend way too much time thinking about why people who make good money still feel stuck. And if you're someone who feels like you're doing everything right, working hard, earning more than before, but somehow not getting ahead, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because today we're talking about the 3 months that quietly decide your entire financial future. And once you see them, you can't unsee them. Why 3 months matter more than 30 years. Here's what most people believe about money. If I make more money over time, I'll eventually be fine. But here's what the data actually shows. According to a Federal Reserve study, over 60% of Americans who earn above the median income still live paycheck to paycheck. That means income alone isn't the answer. And Vanguard found something even more interesting. Most long-term wealth outcomes are determined early, not gradually. In other words, money habits lock in faster than people realize. You don't slowly become good with money. You become consistent with money, or you don't. And that consistency is decided during 3 specific months. Month number 1. The first month you're not broke. This is the most important month nobody respects. This month usually happens after a raise, a new job, paying off a credit card, moving back home, or cutting a major expense, and suddenly the pressure is gone. No overdraft fear. No checking your balance before buying groceries. No anxiety every time a bill hits. And your brain goes, we survived. The psychology of escaping scarcity. Here's what most people don't realize. When you've been financially stressed for a long time, your brain adapts to survival mode. Researchers at Princeton found that scarcity literally reduces cognitive bandwidth, meaning you make worse decisions under financial stress. So when that stress finally disappears, your brain doesn't say, let's build systems. It says, let's breathe. That's why people celebrate. That's why people spend. That's why people loosen discipline. Not because they're irresponsible, but because their nervous system is exhausted. Why this month is so dangerous? Let's use real numbers. Say you now have $500 left over each month. That money feels huge because you're used to zero. And now you have options. Better food, better clothes, a better phone, more fun, all of those feel justified. But here's the trap. If your first reaction to extra money is consumption, your brain associates relief with spending. And once that association forms, it's very hard to break. The math that compounds quietly. Let's say instead you automatically save or invest $300 a month. That's $3,600 per year at a modest 7% return. After 10 years gives tilde $50,000. After 20 years gives tilde $150,000. After 30 years gives tilde $340,000, and that's just from one habit that started in this month. This is why Fidelity says, the first dollar invested is the hardest and the most important. Action steps for month number 1. If you're in this month right now, do not upgrade your lifestyle yet. Automate something immediately. Make saving invisible. This month isn't about optimization. It's about identity. You're becoming someone who saves or someone who spends. What's left? Month number 2. The first month you feel comfortable. This month is sneaky. Nothing feels wrong. Nothing feels urgent. You're not stressed. You're not excited. You're just fine. And comfort kills progress. Why? Comfort is more dangerous than being broke. When you're broke, you think about money constantly. When you're rich, money works for you. But when you're comfortable, you stop paying attention. According to behavioral finance research, people are least likely to change habits when they feel okay, not bad enough to act, not good enough to optimize. This is where budgets stop being updated, investing gets postponed, goals become vague. The biggest lie of this month, the lie is, once things stabilize, I'll get serious. But stability is not a pause, it's a plateau. Let's say you earn $4,500 a month, you spend $3,800, you tell yourself, once I hit $6,000, I'll really invest. But when income rises, spending rises quietly too. This isn't because you're greedy. It's because your brain recalibrates normal. This is where IT gets really interesting. A study from the National Bureau of Economic Research found that most lifestyle inflation happens unconsciously. Not big purchases, small ones, slightly nicer food, slightly better subscriptions, slightly more convenience, individually harmless, collectively destructive. Action steps for month number 2. This is the month to lock in a savings percentage, invest before. Lifestyle upgrades, decide what you'll never touch. If you wait for motivation, it won't come. Month number 3, the first financial setback. This month hurts because it feels like failure. Unexpected expenses hit, savings dip, momentum slows. And most people interpret this as, see, I knew I wasn't good with money. But that thought is wrong. The psychology of loss aversion, your brain hates losses more than it loves gains. According to Nobel Prize-winning research by Daniel Kahneman, losses feel twice as painful as equivalent gains feel good. So when your finances dip, your instinct is to protect. That means cutting investments, pausing contributions, hoarding cash, and this is where futures split. The math of pausing. Let's say you invest $400 a month. You pause for 6 months during a rough period. That's $2,400 not invested. Over 30 years at 7%? That's over $18,000 gone. Not because of a bad investment, because of a pause. The wealthy think differently here. Wealthy investors don't see downturns as signals to stop. They see them as, this is part of the process. Consistency matters more than timing. Action steps for month number 3. If you hit this month, reduce contributions, don't eliminate. Then separate emotions from systems. Remember, setbacks are normal. Stopping completely teaches your brain that investing is optional. Why most people never recover? Here's the brutal truth. Most people don't fail financially because they don't know what to do. They fail because they mishandle. Their first relief, their first comfort, their first setback, and after that, habits harden. Final motivation. Look, nobody needs to be perfect with money. But everyone needs to respect the moments that matter. If you're in one of these 3 months right now, especially the first one, this is your window. And once it closes, it's much harder to reopen. Hit the thumbs up if this helped clarify something for you. Subscribe if you want honest money advice without hype or fake motivation. And remember, your financial life isn't decided in 30 years. It's decided in 3 quiet months most people never notice.